Classes ended. The hallway buzzed with chatter as students spilled out. Lina walked quietly, her thoughts swirling, until she felt a hand wrap gently around her arm. She spun around, startled. Alex, she breathed, blinking up at him. Good to see you in class today, she said with a warm
good
smile.
to see you in class today.
Still
Yeah, thanks,
trying to
and
catch
congrats
her
on being
breath.
top scorer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Once again
Alex
beaten by you.
replied, and congratulated her on being the top scorer. Thank you, she said softly. Alex smirked. Once again, I got beaten by you. She laughed, eyes sparkling. So, where were you headed? He asked. I'm on my way to the head lecturer's office, she replied. I got picked for the school's annual celebration on Aria Island. I need to take the invitation card.
Your presentation was
Aria
great.
Island. Alex
Thanks,
raised
your
a
questions
brow.
were really
That's
insightful.
Great.
I'm
I
looking
was
forward
picked
to
too.
working together.
Lina tilted her head.
I was invited
Well,
to the
of
island
course
party
you were.
too. It's
You're the
a
school
shame I
owner's
don't have a
son.
partner for the
Alex
night.
chuckled.
Oh, really?
That might help, but it's not the major reason. She grinned. So, are you going? Why? He asked, teasing. Do you want me there? No, I mean, yes. Lina fumbled, her cheeks going red. I didn't mean it like that. He laughed, clearly amused. I'd love to go, but I haven't found a partner for the night. Shame, isn't it? Lina just nodded, words caught in her throat. Ask me, her heart screamed. Lina, he said gently, snapping her from her daze. Oh, sorry, I should get going, she mumbled, flustered. He smiled, turned, and walked away. Unbeknownst to Lina, a pair of sharp eyes had been watching her from across the hallway. Ivy stood at a distance, flanked by her ever-loyal friends, Jenny and Anna. They followed Ivy's every move. Ivy, of course, stood at the center.
That
her
stupid
arms
Lina,
crossed,
she
the boss among
disgusts
them.
me.
She had
Weirdo.
seen everything. She became more furious. Ivy wasn't just another pretty face at Luminaria University. She was the face, the queen bee, the untouchable, the daughter of a wealthy business mogul. The most popular student at Luminaria University, but Lina Alvarez was her rival. Lina walked down the hallway, eyes glued to the letter in her hands. Excitement shimmered in her gaze as she read every word, her heart dancing at the thought of being selected for the school's annual celebration on Aria Island. She barely noticed her surroundings, until someone stepped right in front of her. Hello, Lina, Ivy said coolly, her arms folded. Looks like you were invited to the island as well. That's cute. And her
Hello,
lower
Lina.
friends Jenny
Looks
and
like
Anna
you were
stood
invited to
behind
the
her
island as
chuckling
well.
and making
That's
zest for
cute.
Lina.
What do you want, Ivy?
Lina leaned
What do I
against the
want?
wall, a few meters away. Lina lowered the letter, her excitement dimming. What do you want, Ivy? She asked, her voice calm but firm. What do I want? Ivy scoffed, tilting her head with a smirk. If I told you what I want, Lina, you couldn't afford it, not in this lifetime. Listen, Ivy, I don't want any trouble. Neither do I, Ivy snapped back. But you've proven yourself to be stubborn. Repeatedly. This is about the test score, isn't it? Lina asked. Don't push it, Ivy warned, stepping closer. To hell with your little test score. That was a fluke. It won't happen again. Lina took a steady breath. Fine. Is that all? One more thing, Ivy hissed. Stay the hell away from Alex. Lina raised a brow. Why? Is he your boyfriend? Or your husband? She said, her voice laced with sarcasm. Without warning, Ivy snatched the invitation from Lina's hand and tossed it onto the floor. I'm Ivy Vargas, and this is my territory. Before Lina could respond, a voice cut in sharply from behind. Well, I'm pretty sure this school is called Luminaria, not Ivy's territory. Ivy turned sharply. It was Selena, just a random girl in school. Selena stood behind her, arms crossed, staring her down. Selena bent
You should
to
be
pick up the
ashamed
letter
of
and
yourself,
handed it back
Ivy.
to Lina.
Pathetic
Here,
fools.
she said Toyna. Pathetic fools, Ivy muttered, brushing past both of them with a scoff. Thanks, Lina
Selena,
said. I know who you are. You're the best dancer and table tennis player here in Luminaria. Selena grinned. Wow, someone's been watching me. They both chuckled, the tension fading. Anyway, don't let Ivy get under your skin, Selena added. She feeds off that. I will try not to, Lina replied with a soft smile. Thanks again, Selena nodded. So, you got invited too? Lina nodded, and said yes, niece. I didn't. Selena shrugged casually. Not really my kind of scene anyway. But enjoy yourself. Of course, I will reply to Lina. They exchanged a small wave before parting ways. Outside, Lina scanned the school parking lot, no sign of her driver. She sighed. Guess he's not coming today. With a resigned breath, she left the campus and flagged down a cab, her thoughts oddly calm. Not even Alex crossed her mind the whole way home. Lina stepped into the room and froze. Her sister, Jessica, stood in front of the mirror, dressed in a curve-hugging red dress that shimmered under the bedroom lights, lips coated in a bold crimson, and her brown hair perfectly curled down her shoulders. Jessica. Lina's brows knit together in surprise. Why are you all dressed up like that? Jessica rolled her eyes without looking back. Are you blind? I'm going out to a party. Again, Lina asked, a little stunned. But it's late. Do I look like a child to you? Jessica snapped, turning sharply to face her. I'm a grown woman. I can take care of myself. I'm just looking out for you, Lina said gently, stepping further into the room. It's dangerous out there, especially at night. I actually came to call you for dinner. But Jessica was more interested in admiring herself in the mirror than listening to Lina's concern. Her focus was on blending her eyeshadow perfectly. Jessica, I'm talking to you, Lina said, walking up to her sister's side. Jessica let out a sigh and turned slightly, her expression cold. Dear sister, if you're this desperate
Jessica,
for my
please,
attention,
let's have dinner
and you
together.
miss me so
Why are you
much,
so desperate
why
for my
not just
attention,
ask
Lina?
Mom
You're
and
my
Dad to
twin
make
sister and I
another
love
baby?
you.
Then maybe you'll leave me hell alone. Lina swallowed her sigh and sat quietly on the edge of the bed. It's been a while since we sat down and ate together. You know Mom and Dad are away on another business trip. We should be looking out for each other. Jessica chuckled mockingly and picked out a pair of glittering designer heels from the shelf. She put them on proudly. Look at these, Lina, Jessica said.
It's a good thing we're
pointing to
not
her
identical.
shoes.
My
They're
designer shoes from
Lux,
Cheng
the biggest
Lux.
fashion
They're
brand.
beautiful.
I know fashion is too sophisticated for your dull brain to understand, she said, putting them on. Lina didn't care about the shoes, but her sister. You know, Jessica went on, sometimes I wonder how we're even twins. Thank goodness we're not identical, it would have been a disaster. Lina tried to speak again, but Jessica twirled in front of the mirror, checked her lipstick one last time, and flounced toward the door. Anyway, see you later, sis. The sound of her heels clicking down the hall echoed after her as the door closed behind her. Lina sat there for a while, staring blankly at the floor, sadness heavy on her face. Eventually, she stood and made her way to the kitchen, where the comforting scent of warm food filled the air. Lina, your food's ready, Nanny Clara said with a warm smile. Don't worry, Nanny, I lost my appetite, Lina replied, reaching for a glass of water instead. Clara watched her closely. What's wrong, sweet girl? It's nothing, really. The older woman walked over and gently placed a hand on Lina's shoulder. Come sit. You know you can always talk to me. Lina let out a soft sigh and allowed Clara to guide her to the living room sofa. She sat down beside her, patient and kind. Is it about your sister again? Clara asked, her voice filled with concern. Lina nodded slowly. And school, too. Clara listened carefully. Lina poured her heart out. The strange loneliness she felt at home, Jessica's constant dismissal, and the weight of being in school where she didn't always feel like she belonged. Clara, who had been more of a mother than her own at times, wrapped her arms around her and spoke soft words of comfort.
Is falling apart.
Later that night, Clara tucked Lina into bed like she had always done when she was a child. Good night, dear, she whispered. Good night, Nanny, and thank you. When the door closed, Lina remained still for a while before sitting up in bed. She reached for the photo of her and her father on her nightstand, running her fingers gently over his smile. I miss you so much, Dad. Please come home soon, she said tearfully. Meanwhile, not too far away, Alex lay on his bed, one hand behind his head, the other holding his phone. On the screen was a photo of Lina, smiling, quiet, radiant. He stared at it for a long time, a small smile tugging at the corner of his lips. Why can't I get you out of my head, Lina? He murmured. I can't fall in love with you, he says. He knew he had a crush on her. Always trying to get her out of his mind, but his heart fails him each time. Just as classes wrapped up for the day, Lina's phone rang. She fished it out of her bag, puzzled by the unknown number glowing on the screen. Hesitantly, she answered. Hello. There was a short pause, then a voice she instantly recognized. Lina. Her heart skipped. Alex, she whispered, surprised and confused all at once. How did he get
Alex,
my
is
number?
that you?
She wondered.
What?
Meet me on the basketball court. Before she could ask anything, the line went dead. Lina sat frozen, in the classroom, her mind reeling with questions. Still, something about his tone compelled her to move. With quickened steps, she made her way to the court. The gymnasium was still and dim when she entered. It was quiet, no one was there. She stepped further in, her footsteps echoing faintly. Hello, is anyone here? Alex, can you hear me? She asked,
Hello, is
hoping for
anyone
an
here?
answer.
Alex, can you hear me?
Suddenly, a voice came from behind her, low and deliberate. "Nice dress." She spun around, startled. Alex was standing
Your dress
there,
looks nice.
dressed in a
Thanks,
black
my dad
hoodie
got it
and
for me.
jeans, his posture relaxed, but his eyes piercing. He looked impossibly calm. "Oh, thanks. My dad bought it for me," she said quickly, then instantly regretted blurting it out. Why did I just say that? Alex's lips curled slightly. He took a slow step toward her, standing just a breath away. "Lina," he said, in a low, soft voice, "I've seen the way you look at me. You feel something, even if you're trying to hide it. I've been watching you since the first day we met." Lina's mouth parted slightly, but no words came out. "There's no use pretending. Right here, right now, I know you feel it too. Whatever this is between us. I don't know what you're talking about, Alexander," Lina managed to stammer, finally breaking eye contact with him. Her cheeks burned, her thoughts scrambled. Deep down, she knew every word he said was true, but how could she admit it? Alex tilted his head, his voice softening. "Levin, your voice betrays you. Don't deny what you feel." He reached out and gently lifted her chin, guiding her gaze back to his. "I really do like you." Lina's breath caught. Her eyes widened. The world seemed to be still. Everything outside that moment vanished. She was too stunned to speak. "Lina, I have feelings for you," he continued, watching her carefully. "Would you be my partner? Not just for tomorrow night, but for as long as—" "Yes!" Lina blurted, barely able to contain herself. Realizing how loudly she'd just responded, she cleared her throat and softened her voice. "I mean, yes, I would love to." Alex broke into the most radiant smile she'd ever seen on him, genuine and full of warmth. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. He flipped it open to reveal a delicate silver necklace with a tiny, sparkling gem. Lina gasped, her breath completely stolen. Was this really happening? Alex gently took her hand and slid the ring onto her finger. Her eyes welled with emotion. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Just a little token," he replied, his voice deep and soft.
A small gift for you.
"See you on Friday night,
Thank
partner." And with that, he turned and strode out of the courtroom, leaving her standing there, motionless and overwhelmed. Lina stood for a moment, staring at her hand, at the ring, at the door he had just been walking through. "This is a dream come true," she said to herself. She smiled at herself, her heart still racing, and finally she walked out, still unable to believe what had just happened. Still overwhelmed with joy, Lina walked down the street, going to catch a cab, like a bird set free. She kept glancing at the delicate silver necklace on her neck, her smile refusing to fade. It felt like the most beautiful day of her life. Then, a beautiful blonde girl walked up to her. "What a beautiful necklace you have on," she says. "Thanks," Lina said. "Just a little advice, young lady. Whatever feelings you have for that guy, kill it, because sooner or later you'll regret it. He doesn't love you. He'll break your heart into 100 pieces. You've been warned." With that, the blonde girl entered a car and zoomed off, leaving Lina confused and awestruck. But Lina waved it off. She didn't care about what the blonde girl had just said to her. Little did she know, it was only the beginning of a deadly game. After all, Friday was not just the much-anticipated Luminaria Island party,
Guard
it
your
was
heart,
also
or else
her
Alex
and
will
Jessica's
break it. But
birthday,
who are you?
a double celebration. Bursting through the door of their home, she was ready to gush to her nanny, or maybe even share her excitement with Jessica. But she stopped dead in her tracks. Nanny Clara stood frozen, her face pale and streaked with tears. She could see the horror and fear in Jessica's fear. Nanny and Jessica looked broken. "Nanny? Jessica?" Lina called, walking closer, her heart beginning to pound again. but not from excitement this time. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice shaky. But no one answered. "Nanny, please, say something. Jessica?" Finally, Nanny Clara looked straight into Lina's eyes, her voice barely beyond a whisper. "It's your father. He had an accident. Your mother is with him at the hospital." The words didn't make sense at first.
I can't believe
Lina stood frozen, blinking rapidly. Just hours ago, she'd been the happiest girl in the world, and now her world was falling apart. Without another word, the girls hurried into the car, their hearts heavy and minds spinning with fear. The drive felt like an eternity.
Dad, please wake up. Come back to us. I need you, Dad.
Shh, it's okay.
Mom, I'm
That
so
night,
scared.
the house was filled with silence and sorrow. Lina sat curled on her bed, her heart so heavy. Suddenly, the door flung open with a loud bang. Jessica stormed in, her face twisted with rage and tears. "This is all your fault, Lina," she yelled. Lina looked up, stunned. "What?" "If you hadn't begged Dad to come back for your stupid
hate you,
birthday,
Lina. This
none
is
of
all
this
your
would have
fault.
happened."
I would
Jessica
never forgive
shouted,
if I lose
her
my
voice
dad.
cracking. "Jessica, why would you say that?" Lina asked, already breaking again. "Oh, stop pretending," Jessica snapped. "You always do this. You act innocent, but you're always the one ruining everything. Remember the deal Dad lost because of you? Or when Mom got sick because she was trying to save you?" Lina stood, eyes wide. "That's not fair, Jessica." "No, what's not fair is that you keep being the reason we suffer," Jessica cried. "If anything happens to Dad, I swear I will never forgive you. I'll hate you for the rest of my life." With that, she turned and stormed out, slamming the door behind her so hard the walls shook. Lina rushed to the bathroom, turned on the shower. She wished this was all a bad dream, hoping the water could wash away this nightmare, pain and guilt raging inside of her. But no, this was all real and true. Her world was falling apart. The one person who truly loves her is lying motionless in the hospital, Lina cried uncontrollably. The night was the longest, darkest night of her life. Lina sat on her couch. Nanny Clara stood behind her, patiently brushing and styling her hair. Lina had just returned from the hospital. It had been a week, and there had not been any improvements in her father's health. From the reflection, Nanny Clara could see the sorrow in Lina's eyes. Leaning close, she laid a comforting hand on Lina's shoulder. "Don't worry, dear," she murmured. "Your father is a strong man. Antonio will be fine." Lina turned in her seat and took Nanny's hands in hers, gratitude shining through her own tears. "Thank you, Nanny. I don't know what I would do without you. You've been like a second mother to me and Jessica ever since we were kids. Even with my mother's bad attitude towards you, you still love this family." Clara shook her head softly. "Your mother loves you both, Lina. Sometimes stress and disappointment cloud her words. You must not take them to heart." Lina smiled wanly and leaned in for a hug. "You always know how to make me feel safe." They broke apart when Clara held up Lina's party dress, a flowing sky blue gown with delicate lace at the shoulders. "Now, let's finish getting you ready for tonight's celebration." Lina hesitated. "I can't, Clara. I would feel so wrong, celebrating while Father lies in that hospital bed. I have no intentions of going to the event any longer." "Lina," Clara said gently but firmly, "you told me you were chosen to give a speech tonight. You would not want to disappoint them. Not only will students be there, but dignitaries from across the country. This is a one-time opportunity to honor your family." Lina looked down at the gown, and for a moment, still contemplating, I don't know." Just then, the bedroom door opened quietly behind them, and Lina's mother, Irene Alvarez, entered, her posture rigid, her expression stern. "Clara," she said. Leave us. Clara paused, giving Lina's one last reassuring look before turning to leave. Lina rose to face her mother, heart pounding. Irene crossed the room and stood before her daughter. Lina didn't like the look on her mother's face. It was cold and unnervingly calm. 100 thoughts raced through her mind as she braced herself. Lina, Irene began, you do love your father, don't you? The question caught her completely off guard. Yes, Mom, of course I do, she replied, frowning in confusion. And you want him to get better? Irene asked again. Yes, Mom, we all do. Good, said to her mother, because right now, as I speak to you now, your father is in a coma. Lina gasped, her palm covering her mouth. His life, Irene continued, stepping past her daughter to examine the room, is now in your hands. Lina gave her a bewildered look. What do you mean? Irene then swept her hand across the air as if to gesture at the lavish room around them. You see all this? Everything you've enjoyed, the comfort, the name, the privilege? You don't want to lose that, do you? Lina took a cautious step forward. Mom, I don't understand where this is going. Irene turned, walked slowly up to her daughter, and gently touched her cheek.
You're doing this for your father, Lina. Everything I do is for our family.
I'll do anything, Mom. Just tell me.
Lina, my dear, you are my daughter, and everything I do, every decision, is for this family's survival. So, if you want your father to live, if you don't want to lose your home and family, you'll do as I say. Lina hesitated, her heart pounding. Anything, Mom. I'll do anything.
I forbid you from leaving this house. Do not defy my orders, Lina.
A satisfied smile spread across Irene's face. Good. Then you'll marry into the Montenegro family. Lina reeled. What? She screamed. Mom, what are you talking about? What Montenegro family? What are you even saying, Mon? I don't even know who they are. You will understand in due time, Irene said calmly, unfazed by Lina's outburst. Lina pressed a hand on her forehead in disbelief. Please tell me you're joking. How does marrying someone I've never met, someone I don't know, save Dad's life or this family? Enough questions, Lina. You will do as I say, her mother replied, her voice turning steely. But understand this, from now on, you're forbidden from visiting your father in the hospital. Lina's eyes filled with tears. Why are you such a cruel mom? She shouted. Sometimes I wonder if you're even my real mother. You have no heart, no love. Before she could finish, Irene slapped her.
Why are you so cruel, Mom?
Hard.
Why do you hate me?
Lina stumbled back, hitting the floor as tears streamed down her face. If you think I'm not your real mother, then you have my permission to go find your biological mother. And one more thing, Irene said as she turned to leave. I forbid you from going to that stupid island event of yours. Defy my orders and consider yourself dead to me, Irene said coldly. With that, she stormed out, slamming the door behind her. No, Lina screamed, clutching her face. It was too much. Her mother's words crushed her heavily. I need to get out of here, she muttered to herself. She got dressed, grabbed her bag, and bolted from the room. Nanny Clara called after her, trying to stop her, but Lina didn't turn back. She didn't even wait for the driver. She just ran. Down the street, through the neighborhood, tears blurred her vision.
Lina, wait! Stop!
When her house was finally out of sight, she hailed a cab. To the seaport, she told the driver. As they drove, thoughts spiraled through her mind. It was her birthday, her and Jessica's. But only Nanny Clara had remembered and wished them a happy birthday. Lina bought a gift for Jessica to celebrate her twin, but Jessica didn't even thank her. She looked down at her dress, one her father had gifted her before his trip. A pair of white heels completed the look. Tears trickled down her cheeks again. The cab driver looked at her through the mirror. "Are you all right, miss?" She wiped her tears quickly. "Yes, I'm fine." When they reached the port, the scene was breathtaking. Waves of students and dignitaries arriving in glamorous clothes, laughter, chatter, music, and dazzling lights. The ship was decorated like a floating palace. It should have been magical, but for Lina, it wasn't. She walked up the ramp quietly, unnoticed in the flurry of excitement. Everyone around her seemed joyful and carefree, but inside, she was broken, lost in her pain. She had momentarily forgotten that Alex was supposed to be her partner tonight. Right now, none of it matters. Not the party, not the lights, not even the crowd. Anywhere was better than home. Lina thought running away from home for a single night would save her moment of relief. Little did she know, her misery is far from over. Tucked away at the farthest edge of the ship, Lina sat alone, leaning against the brass railing as she gazed out into the starry sky. The sky stretched endlessly above her. Below, the gentle splash of waves as the ship sailed. This wasn't how she thought tonight would feel. Inside, the ship pulsed with life, laughter, music, clinking glasses. The atmosphere was intoxicating for most, but Lina felt like a ghost drifting through a dream. She didn't join the others inside the ship to celebrate. Soon, the ship slowed, and the island came into view. Lina's breath caught in her throat. It was like stepping into a fantasy. The island glowed under a canopy of fairy lights strung between tall palm trees. Torches flared on the white sand shores, and floral arches lined the walkways. Guests were already arriving in private boats and yachts. Laughter echoed from the docks as elegantly dressed students, staff, and dignitaries mingled. For a brief moment, Lina forgot her pain. Her lips parted slightly in awe as she watched it all unfold. Men in tuxedos, women in flowing gowns, music lilting from a live band on the shore. It was breathtaking. Then her phone buzzed sharply in her purse, breaking the spell. She got it out to see a text from Alex. "Looking forward to seeing you, Miss Beautiful." A small smile curved her lips. That's when she noticed several missed calls from him. He'd been trying to reach her, but she hadn't noticed. The last group of guests had begun disembarking. Lina tucked her phone away and finally rose from her quiet corner. She stepped out to the staircase at the side of the ship, pausing to take in the grand spectacle before her.
She began descending the stairs slowly, then suddenly she slipped. Just before she hit the ground, a firm hand caught her waist, steadying her. For a heartbeat, the world paused. She looked up, and into the most breathtaking hazel green eyes she had ever seen. Deep as the ocean, she couldn't move. She was lost in his beauty, his presence towering yet protective. Stunned by the sheer closeness, then the moment broke. "Please welcome Miss Lina Alvarez for the welcoming speech," came a voice from the loudspeaker, echoing across the island. Startled, she pulled away from the strange handsome figure before her. He released her slowly, with a look that lingered a little too long. Before she could thank him, he turned and walked off, his tall frame melting into the crowd. She exhaled shakily, placing a hand on her chest to steady herself. Taking a breath, she descended the final step to the sand. Just as she approached the stage, Alex appeared at her side, dressed immaculately in a fitted black suit. He offered his hand like a gentleman. Cheers erupted as she took it, letting him guide her up the steps like a princess approaching her throne. Lina stepped up to the podium. She looked out at the sea of faces, expectant, curious, excited. "Good evening, everyone," she began. "It's an honor to welcome you all to this year's Luminaria Island celebration, a night of wonder, unity, and unforgettable memories. I know we all come from different paths, different homes, different dreams. But tonight, we stand together under one sky, sharing the same starlight. This island doesn't just hold beauty, it holds promise. For laughter, for love, for the future. Let us dance not just to music, but to the rhythm of hope. Let us speak not just to be heard, but to be understood. And let us remember that even the darkest night can still give way to the brightest dawn. So to every student,
Thank you all for
every
being
guest,
here tonight.
every heart
this
here
journey
tonight,
has been
welcome.
unforgettable. Here's
And
to
thank
many
you for
more
being part of
adventures.
this magical evening. The crowd burst into applause. As she stepped down from the podium, Alex was there once again, waiting. His hand reached for hers like it belonged there. As she placed her fingers in his, he leaned in close and whispered into her ear. You look breathtaking. She looked up into his eyes and smiled at him. As Lina took her seat, her eyes landed on Scarlett, the blonde girl who had warned her about Alex, standing a few meters away as cameras flashed endlessly around her. Lina gasped, stunned. Who is she? She wondered. Is she some kind of celebrity? Lina, just give me a moment, I will be back soon, Alex said, leaving Lina alone. She glanced around, still in awe of the dazzling venue. When she turned, her eyes met him again, the mysterious guy in a red suit that had caught her earlier. He stood alone, just a few steps away, effortlessly striking. Lina watched him, unable to look away. She was mesmerized by his beauty, questioning how one man could look so angelic.
How can one man look
He didn't
this
seem
handsome?
real, he looked as though he had been carved by the gods themselves. Just like the ones she read about in fairy tales. Lina had no idea the man was Xavier Cheng Montenegro, son to the powerful Montenegro family and the world-renowned fashion empire, Cheng Lux. The same fashion brand where her twin sister, Jessica, works as a fashion journalist and a model, being a true fashionista that she is. Their eyes almost locked, but Lina quickly looked away to avoid eye contact. Then she spotted Ivy and Jenny whispering and smirking in her direction. What are you two up to? Lina thought, but brushed it off and moved on. She wasn't about to let them ruin her night. A waiter approached, offering her a glass of wine. Enjoy your night, ma'am, he said. Lina smiled, lifted the glass, and took a sip, barely. Stop, a voice boomed, but it was too late. The glass was snatched from her hand, and suddenly he was standing right in front.
Xavier carried Lina's unconscious body through the stunned crowd, his expression dark and unreadable.
Oh, Lina, the attention seeker,
Whispers
what have you
spread
done
like
to yourself?
wildfire across the island. Someone had drugged her drink. But who? Across the glowing shoreline, Scarlett stood frozen, unease written all over her face. Lina had defied her mother to find peace, but instead, she had walked straight into something far
Yes, I'm
more
Lina's
dangerous.
mother. What area I am? Come!
Why did Xavier
Open the
step
gates,
in?
get the car ready!
Who wanted her out of the way? And what happens when Irene discovers her daughter was saved by the son of the Montenegro family, the very name she despises? The game has just begun and Lina has no idea she's already at the center of a war. If you think this night was shocking, you're not ready for what's coming next. Subscribe and follow to uncover the truth in the next episode of My Heart Choose Wrong.